In this video, I'll be sharing with you 12 low-content book niche ideas that can make you $500 per month, or maybe even more. Swimming in it! So, hi guys, my name is Thomas from BookBeam.io, and when we're talking about KDP low content and perhaps even no content as well, I always feel it's very important to mention that low content does not equal low effort. Success with low content books does not equal, doing nothing and achieving some form of success without doing much of anything. That's just not how this works. Even though we'll be looking at various niches that are, all of which could be considered low content, you're not going to be able to succeed and create an income for yourself through this, without putting forth a good amount of effort to create a good product that people actually like and can leave good reviews for and that can rank high and so on and so forth. So low content does not equal low effort. I highly advise that you chuck that mindset out the window, because I see quite a lot of this. When people look at low content, they think they're trying to invest as little of their effort and energy and money as possible and they still want that success, but that's not really how it works. You have to be willing to really create good, high quality products to win in the marketplace. So with that said, and with that out of the way, let's dive into the BookBeam Niche Finder and start our research process. And by the way, I haven't really prepared anything in advance. We'll be doing this, you'll be doing this with me, we'll be doing this research together as we go. I haven't really planned much of anything. So yeah, let's go to the Niche Finder and let's get started. All right, so here we are in the BookBeam Niche Finder. And by the way, if you don't know what the Niche Finder does and what all of these input fields mean, you're very welcome to check out the Niche Finder showcase video here on our channel. Learn more about the Niche Finder and how it will take your research to the next level. But anyhow, let's get started with our search. So this first search is going to be, I'm going to make a very, very broad search, very high level search, so that I can get a good feeling of what's going on in the market and start building some ideas, getting a good feeling of what's selling and what are some good high selling, low content book niches, and we're going to go from there. So bestsellers rank is going to be from 1 to 35,000. That's a broad range. So it's going to be looking for books that only have a BSR of 35,000 or lower. So it's doing better than, it's selling more books than a book with a BSR of 35,000. And likewise for the number of reviews, it's going to be from 1, let's make it very broad. Let's do it 1 to 2,000. And also for the publishers, I'm not going to be looking through all publishers. I'm only going to be looking through, for this first search, I'm only going to be looking through books that are self-published. I'm going to be looking at which books that are self-published are selling very well. And there's definitely going to be lots of low content books in there as well. So, and then the last thing I'll do, I'll select the categories. And again, because we want this search to be broad, I'm going to select a few categories. So I'm going to select children's books. I'm going to select crafts, hobbies, and home. So where do people generally put low content books? Definitely there's going to be plenty in children's books, main category, and in crafts, hobbies, and home. So where else could there be interesting low content books? Definitely cookbooks, food, and wine. Christian books and Bibles, perhaps. Some perhaps journals in there. Health, fitness, and dieting for sure. Humor and entertainment, I'm not sure, but let's have a look. Why not? Teens, maybe test preparation, self-help, yeah. Religion, spirituality, yes. Maybe reference, not really sure, but let's see what's there. Let's also do business and money, why not? Medical books, parenting and relationships, yes, possible. Arts and photography, education and teaching, textbooks, sports and outdoors. Yeah, I think that's a lot of categories, but I think that pretty much covers where the vast majority of the low content book ideas could be. Then I'll click find books and let's see what the search returns for us. So all right, the search is already complete and let's see what we have. All right, so already I'm seeing something very cool here. All right, so this is a logbook and notebook for passwords. Idea number 1, selling very, very well at 606 in books in the US store. Let's see what the Chrome extension says about this. All right, so yeah, it's doing really, really well. Let's see how the historic sales rate has been. All right. Yeah, it's been doing very well. Right off the bat, pretty much it was at 44,000, then there was a drop, and now it has picked back up. Wow, this book doing very well. Let's see what the interior is like. What is inside? It's just blank lines. Interesting. Interesting. So as you saw, the content here is very plain, very simple. I would actually go ahead and try to see if I can think of some ways to add more value, maybe make the content somehow more interesting, more valuable, slightly more, add something more than just lines. Maybe there is a way to add value in that way. And also the cover is super, super important. But all right, we have our first niche idea, password logbook. I already see here in the customers who viewed this item also viewed that there's a bunch of these. So the competition is very high. So you would really have to think of ways how you could stand out from the rest of the market. So that's idea 1. So let's keep going. Let's see what else we have. So obviously we have a coloring book here. Now coloring books, that's a giant niche. I would actually want to, we have mandala coloring book. I would actually want to niche down. If I were to add this here onto our little list here, I would want a more specific type of coloring book because that's huge. There's like gazillions of different types of coloring books on the market. So for now, we'll just keep this in mind. We'll see that this coloring book right here is doing very, very well, selling very, very high, up above 1,000 BSR. But all right, we're leaving that aside for now. Then next we have this teacher notebook, which definitely is something that fits our criteria, our low content, no content criteria. An awesome teacher is hard to find and difficult to, can't read this, difficult to part with and impossible to forget. All right, and so let's check out what's inside. Inside we have this little thank you text in the first page and a bunch of blank lines. And this one we actually see is a little bit more expensive than the other ones. This one is $6.99. And obviously the text is done very well. It's all about, here it's about saying thank you to teachers, to different types of teachers in different parts of the teacher's career. Either the class is graduating maybe, or the teacher is moving on, or what have you. So this is kind of a thank you gift. Okay, so teacher, notebook, book, thank you, gift. And so let's open up the Chrome extension to see how it's doing sales-wise. Yeah, it's doing very well, and it's definitely making well over $500 a month. It's making much more than that. So if we check out the BSR history for this one, we see that there is some seasonality. So it peaks at the end of the school year, which is May, April, kind of June. It's still selling very well. Same for 2020, same for this year. And then it has pretty deep dips down in ranking in September. In January, then it's selling well, it looks like in December. All right, let's keep on looking. So on to the next page. Let's see what we got. So here we have easy coloring book for adults, inspirational quotes. All right, so as you see, this one would already be harder to produce. Look at the cover. The cover is done really well. And, coloring pages are much, involve a lot more effort than, let's say, just adding lines and duplicating them. So, but for that reason, so here we see what's inside, kind of cool, simple-ish, but nice designs with inspirational quotes on them. But as you can see here, for that reason, because this book is more effort went into this book. Also, the price is slightly higher. It's $7.99. It's not $5.99 or sometimes with a low content and really, not much differentiation going on in the other niches, you can't really price it. People understand if there's just blank content inside, they're not going to pay as much as they would for when there's like really cool content where a lot of creativity went into it. So this one gets added onto our list. Let's add coloring book with positive quotes. So this one would be again quite competitive, but still, if you have the artist's eye, you could do well with something like this. Let's move on. You effing got this. Motivational swear words, coloring book. Yeah, we see this niche is actually evergreen, but it is competitive. So you have to do, just like in the previous example, you have to be able to do this one very well. Let's say swear words, motivational coloring book. Again, some of you might like to do this. I think it's pretty funny. Some of you might not, just because of the swearing. I'm not here to judge. I'm just analyzing what's happening in the market. All right, we have this. Let's move on. The Creative Toddler's First Coloring Book, ages 1 to 3. Let's have a look. Yeah, this is also doing very, very well, making well over those $500 a month. But I think this one is so competitive, I'm not going to include it onto our list. Let's move on with the search. All right, here we have an interesting one. I like this one. This one is a crossword puzzle book for adults. Why I like this one is because it has more content. I'm not really a big fan of like minimal to none content, because it's so hard. You have no competitive advantage when there's no content. So I prefer something like this, where there's more effort gone into creating something like this, and so you have some way to be different and stand out and add more value than in some of the other niches. So crossword puzzle book for adults. Let's have a look. All right, so these guys already have like they're cross-selling their other books, which is good and how it should be done. Here you see there's different kinds of Sudoku, Kakuro. I have no idea what this is. Nonogram. Obviously, they have different branches here. Actually, let's check out how it's been selling over time first and foremost. But then let's check out the author page. All right, so how old is this book? This book is 7 months old, and it's been selling very well for the vast majority of the time. So it's selling very well. So let's have a quick look at the author page, and let's open up the Chrome extension and let's see what's going on in there and which are the best-selling, highest-selling ones. Well, yeah, the one we looked at is the highest-selling one. Usually the author page is ranked by the books that are selling the most. And we have mixed puzzles. This is so that's a mixed puzzles book. This is a word search puzzle. So these could be already two whole niches. Nonogram. This is kind of looks like a smaller niche. Cryptogram. So on our list, I'll add only the ones that are doing the best. So crossword, and word search. So these are really good high-selling niches. If we do like a quick search over here, word search. Let's have a quick feel of how competitive these are. This one is very competitive, but it's also very, very high in demand. So it's definitely better to go after a niche that's very competitive, but where there is huge demand, rather than going after a niche with no demand and no competition, therefore. And so a quick little note before we move on, we see that these guys have branded themselves with bright red covers. So that's important to note. We have this one blue one, but they're all very bright and most of them are red. And they're using this, obviously they're using this to stand out. Red really pulls and draws people's attention in, and so they're using that to their advantage. So in these competitive markets, it's extra important that you find ways to stand out and draw people's attention. So it's different parts in the journey. You have to be able to draw people in, and you have to be able to provide them with high quality stuff. All right, let's move on. Here we have the ultimate dad joke book. These are doing very, very well in various variations. But is this a low content book? I don't know. You tell me. Where is the line drawn? I don't really care. It's not really important, to be honest. Like, you know, how do we define this? This is just, in my eyes, you have just things that are niches and keywords that are in demand, and this is definitely one of them, but it's also competitive. So again, you would have to think of some cool ways in which you could stand out. Just to be, you know, let's be strict. Let's not include this in our low content list for whatever reason. People can be very nitpicky. For me, again, I don't really care about, oh, I'm only doing low content and an idea that is low content. If it's in demand, it will sell and it will move you closer to your goal. And ultimately, I think that's why you are here, and that's what you are after. Here we have another motivational swear word coloring book. This one doesn't have such good reviews. The reviews are 4.2, average star rating of 4.2. So maybe you could go and check out the reviews and see how you could improve on this. What is it that people don't like as much? But all right, let's not spend too much time on that. Oh, we have this one. This one is interesting. Easy piano sheet music for kids. Now, this one would involve like a lot more effort. So if you have perhaps some knowledge in music, or you know people who have knowledge and understanding of music, you could do something like this. Is it low content? Maybe. So I would look into, are these generally in the public domain? These probably are. I don't think anybody owns the rights to Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, so you have to research this, but this is something that's pretty interesting. So I'll take this keyword and I'll throw it in here. So this could be something that you could consider producing. And obviously it's doing very, very well. Let's check out the sales rate. What is the age, by the way? It's 10 months old. So not too old, but it's been on the market for a while. And so you see from the time that it was launched, 70,000, it's been doing very, very well, around, you know, in the low thousands in terms of ranking. All right, let's move on. Here's the variety activity puzzle book for adults that we saw by Puzzle King Publishing. We see them here again. All right, so here on the next page, we see this accounting ledger book. Very interesting. What is that? What is an accounting ledger book? All right, so we have a very simple kind of a table with number, date, description, account, payment, deposit, total. Interesting. So it's very like black cover. You could make this in like a day, in like an hour or two even. You just design one page. You design the front page, and the cover is just like, you know, you take the bucket fill tool in Photoshop or something, make the black background, select a nice font, that's it, export it as a PDF file, upload, fill out all the KDP upload fields, and that's it. So, all right, so this is doing very well. Okay, that's interesting. Well, this definitely goes into our list. Accounting ledger book. So that is very, very interesting. Accounting ledger book, huh? And this is all just coming from the market. I would have never thought of something like this. Accounting ledger book, what? But obviously it's doing very, very well. And it has been on the market for almost 2 years. Wow. Let's keep on moving. Let's see what else we have here. So we have this one right here, which is a notebook with just a design. Interesting leopard design for the cover. I don't really think that's something, you know, you can make your own notebook with a leopard cover, but I don't know, to me, you're not really adding much to the marketplace. So I wouldn't really add this to my interesting ideas list. Grandmother, I want to hear your story. Hear your story. Books is put in here as a keyword. A grandmother's guided journal to share her life and her love. Well, this is well executed. The cover is good. Let's see what the interior is like. We have some quotes in the beginning. Yeah, this one is nicely done. You can see that whoever made this put in some, really put in some effort into producing it from the cover to the interior. You have, Mom, I want to hear your story. Is it by the same author? Let's check it out. Yes, by the same author. So let's add this onto our list. I want to hear your story. These are interesting ideas for sure. Moving on, Catbutt, a coloring book. A funny coloring book. In the next page here we see dot to dot books for kids. This is pretty interesting, but I feel like this would be like super competitive. Let's have a quick look. Throw it in the search and see how things are. Well, yeah, we got 50,000 competitors, which is really big. How is the demand? Yeah, I'm not gonna put this onto the list. I feel like it's just a little too competitive for my tastes. Let's see what else we have. We're seeing on another page, we're seeing the ledger book by the same publisher as we saw that accounting ledger book. We have another 1950s word search puzzle book. Now this is really cool because this person, whoever published this, added a very cool spin to it. 1950s word search puzzle book. It's not just a puzzle book, just a general puzzle book, which there are plenty of out there already. This is, this person has found a cool way to niche it down. I really like the vibe of the cover. It's very well done, very like, this person obviously has a taste for, for art and a feeling for design, because this really does have like a 1950s feel with the color scheme and whatnot. So yeah, very well done, and just a great example of how you can differentiate yourself in the market. Here we have some of the classics, the handwriting workbook. This one is for adults, which is pretty interesting, but I already know these are very competitive. So again, not putting them on the list. Here we have a Sudoku puzzle book for adults that's doing really, really well right now. We already had some puzzle books here, but why not? We can add, let me add just somewhere on here. It's a mess already. Sudoku puzzle book. It's in kind of roughly the same, these are all the same niche, to be honest. Here we have another book that's trending and doing very well. Very freshly published, just 2 months old. It's a little book about my amazing mom. So it's very similar to I Want to Hear Your Story, except this would be something that, somebody's daughter would be filling out and giving to their mom, as far as I understand it here. Also very interesting niche if this is something that you would be interested in producing. Okay, so here we're seeing camping journal and RV travel logbook. This could be another, definitely another niche. Camping and RV logbook, a journal, to a niche that's definitely quite interesting. Let's see what's inside. Obviously the cover is done very well. Yeah, oh wow, this one's done very nicely. I gotta say, this one's done very well. Yeah, very highly produced. Props to whoever made this. And check this out. So they're selling it for like a big premium, $12.99. And this one's been here for a while. How I know that is because it's CreateSpace published. But there's always, if we see that demand is this high, there's always new ways. If it's big enough, if the market is big enough, there will be new ways to add a new spin to a niche like this, for example, as well. Let's check out Godzilla coloring book. Is Godzilla trademarked? Is it copyrighted? Here on the next page, we have some more sight word search books for kids. Let's check out this one. This one's hilarious. Swear and search, word search for adults. This is pretty hilarious. And I bet it does incredibly well in the holiday time. Absolutely. makes for such a great gift. And we also see on the flip side, no swear words here, sight words, word search for kids. Again, in the same niche as we saw before. All right, so I think for now that's enough for this high-level search. I actually didn't expect to find so many good and interesting ideas. So obviously you would have to follow up and really get a good pulse on what is the competition like, how competitive all these different niches are. Obviously they're very, very high in demand. So that part is a good, big, fat green check mark on those. But what we don't know, what we haven't explored is the competition. So I would highly suggest that you get a good feeling for how competitive these niches are. So, all right, let's abandon this high-level search for now, but obviously we could keep going for a very long time. What I'm gonna do now is I'm going to type in a keyword in the title. So a keyword that I'm gonna filter out is journal. So this is going to narrow our search down to only journals that are in the range of this BSR and have a number of review between 1 and 2,000 and that are in these categories right here. I'll click Find Books and let's see what we find. What kind of journals are we gonna find? Ideas for producing journals. So quite a few of these we already saw. So let's go on to the next page. Actually, we didn't see this one. Weight loss journal. Let's add this onto our list. So this book is pretty new. We see here that it's just 2 months and 2.5 months roughly old. 1 inch at a time. The planner belongs to tweet someone. Yeah, this is very well made. Props to whoever made this. Really nicely done. Like, yeah, this is not somebody who is trying to cut corners. And there's a lot of people who are trying to do that, but that's obviously paying off in their reviews. Reviews are great. And also, because they've done such a good job, they can price it at a good $7 at $6.99. So this goes onto our list. Weight loss journal. All right, let's keep on looking what we have. Healing journal, Sacred Women. This is pretty cool. Like if you're into this kind of stuff and you understand it, a really cool self-care workbook for Black women. Letters to my son as I watch you grow. That's again very akin to what we saw for I Want to Hear Your Story type of book, except this one is not for your mom or your grandma. This is more for from the mom to the son. So there's many variations of this idea from which family member to which family member. All right. We have a sketchbook. We have Mom, What's Your Story? We have a meal planner. Let's check out the meal planner. We have a bucket list journal, monthly bill planner. This one I like. This one is definitely going into our list. Monthly bill planner and organizer. Okay, so this one is a cool one, selling very, very well. We have a 5-year planner here. So definitely lots of different ideas. We have monthly bill planner. We also have mental health journal. Very cool niche. I like this one. Mental health journal. We could explore this one a little bit further. There is a exercise challenge journal here. Let's see what else we have. We have grandfather, I Want to Hear Your Story. So we have all variations of this. We have mom and son journal, a prayer journal, hiking logbook. This is pretty interesting. Blood sugar logbook. I'll just add these on as logbook. We have different kinds of logbooks. Hiking logbook. We have a dream journal. Again, this is going on the list. We have passed 12 niche ideas for sure, and all of these are very, very powerful. So another monthly budget planner. This one has been on the market for a while. The sales go up for these, not surprisingly, for these go up in January. Let's see for the prayer journal. Is this true or is it not? Not really. There seems to be, There seems to be, yeah, somewhat. There seems to be spikes and falls. Blood pressure logbook again, a manifestation journal, Ramadan journal. So there's journals for pretty much everything. Christian gratitude. So you see there's plenty of ideas. There's no shortage of ideas with the niche finder. Let's put in a keyword that's going to be logbook, just so we have a quick look at what are the results that's going to bring us. All right, so small business logbook. This one's really cool. Support small businesses, especially now. Let's see what the interior is like. So it looks like it has 3 different types of pages, so not too hard to produce. And just because it's well done, it's nicely done, people like it. Again, this one is priced at $8 instead of at like 4 or 5 or 6. So possible to price it higher. Bookkeeping log for small businesses. This one is very fresh. It is just 2 months old. Congratulations, graduate class of 2021, guest book. So this one should definitely go into the list, guest book. But I mean, there's plenty of other ones that I didn't include here on this list. Again, password logbook, nature journal for little explorers. So one other thing that you could do, you could look at books that are very newly published. So you would do like maybe 0 to 2 months, or if that doesn't return anything, you do like 0 to, in the age filter here, you would do 0 to like 3, 4, 5 months, just to see the books that are already doing very well, but that have been published quite recently. All right, so those are our 12 plus ideas, more than 12 ideas, like probably way more than 12. It's kind of hard to box in, hard to choose from all these different ideas that we saw here on the niche finder, but yeah, there you have it. So it's all about finding first the demand, find where the demand is, and then produce really well for that demand. So that means great content and a really, really great cover, a great advertising strategy, and that's what will lead to your success. And by the way, if you are interested in using the niche finder and the Chrome extension, both of which you saw throughout this video, using it for yourself, using these powerful tools for yourself, all you have to do is click the link below and sign up for your BookBeam account, and all these really cool keywords and niches will be available and accessible to you very easily, as you saw they were for me throughout this video. So yeah, I'll see you guys around.